You've probably missed it, more than once. That moment when a woman wasn't just being nice or friendly, she was actually revealing desire, and you didn't even see it. Because here's the truth most men never realize. When a woman wants you, she rarely says it directly. She shows it in ways that feel subtle, almost invisible, unless you know exactly what to look for. And once you do, you'll never see her behavior the same way again. It starts with something that feels small, almost insignificant. But it isn't. When a woman desires you, she begins to lean into your world. Emotionally first, not physically. She starts asking questions that go beyond surface-level curiosity. Not the polite kind. Not the just making conversation kind. I'm talking about the kind of questions that linger. The ones that feel like she's trying to understand how you think, how you feel, what drives you when no one is watching. And here's where most men get it wrong. They assume she's just being friendly. But friendliness doesn't carry emotional investment. Desire does. You'll notice it in the way she listens. Not casually, but intentionally. Her attention sharpens when you speak, like you've suddenly become the most interesting person in the room. And it's not forced. It's almost unconscious. She remembers the small details you forget you even mentioned. That random story, that passing comment. She brings it back later, and when she does, it hits you differently. Because deep down you realize she's been thinking about you when you weren't there. But it goes deeper than just attention. When a woman desires you, she starts creating emotional openings. Little windows where she reveals just enough vulnerability to see how you respond. She might share something slightly personal, something that tests your emotional awareness. Not because she needs validation, but because she's measuring you. Can you handle her depth? Can you read between the lines? Can you meet her where she is, without her having to explain everything? And this is where the dynamic shifts. Because if you respond correctly, not perfectly, but with presence, you'll feel it. The energy changes. She becomes warmer, softer, yet somehow more intense at the same time. Like she's slowly letting you in. But only if you prove you're worth it. But here's the part most men completely overlook. And it might be the most powerful signal of all. When a woman truly desires you, she doesn't just open up. She starts pulling you closer in a way that feels almost invisible, yet impossible to ignore. There's a moment, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it completely. It's when her energy shifts from observing you to subtly drawing you in. Not in an obvious, desperate way, but in a quiet, almost magnetic pull that feels natural, yet intentional. This is where desire becomes active. You'll notice she starts finding reasons to be around you. Not randomly, but strategically, even if she doesn't realize it herself. She lingers a little longer in conversations, stretches out moments that could have ended earlier, and somehow, she's always there when you are. It's not coincidence, it's emotional gravity. And when a woman feels drawn to you, she begins placing herself in your orbit, hoping you'll meet her halfway. But what makes this powerful is how she does it without ever appearing like she's chasing you. Because she's not. She's inviting you. There's a difference. She might tease you lightly, challenge you in playful ways, or even disagree with you on small things. Not to push you away, but to create tension. That tension? It's attraction in motion. It keeps the interaction alive, unpredictable, and most importantly, memorable. And then comes something even more revealing. She starts to mirror you. Not in a robotic or obvious way, but subtly. Your tone, your pace, even your body language begins to reflect back through her. This isn't manipulation, it's psychological alignment. When a woman desires you, her subconscious starts syncing with yours. It's her way of saying, I feel comfortable with you. I'm connected to you. I'm here. But here's where it gets deeper and more dangerous if you don't understand it. She will test you. Not because she's playing games, but because attraction without emotional security feels unstable to her. So she might pull back slightly. She might become a little less available, a little harder to read. And most men panic here. They over-pursue, over-explain, or worse, they lose their composure. But what she's really looking for in that moment is your emotional strength. Can you stay grounded when her energy shifts? Can you remain calm without chasing validation? Because if you can, something powerful happens. Her attraction doesn't fade. It intensifies. And just when you think you understand her signals, she does something that seems almost contradictory. Something that confuses most men completely, yet reveals everything about how she truly feels. Just when you think you figured her out, she does something that feels almost contradictory. She pulls you closer, and then creates distance. Not enough to lose you, but just enough to make you feel her absence. And if you don't understand this moment, you'll misread it completely. Because when a woman truly desires you, she doesn't just want your attention. She wants your emotional presence. There's a difference. Attention is easy to get. Presence is rare. So what does she do? She creates space, not to disconnect, but to see if you'll lean in with intention or react with neediness. This is where many men fail without even realizing it. You might notice she takes longer to reply, or her energy becomes slightly less expressive than before. And your instinct might tell you something is wrong, that she's losing interest. But often it's the opposite. She's watching how you handle uncertainty. Do you stay centered, or do you start chasing reassurance? Because in her mind, your reaction reveals more about your value than anything you could say. And here's the shift that changes everything. When a woman desires you deeply, she begins investing emotionally in ways that don't always look obvious. She starts imagining you in her life, not just in moments, but in meaning. You'll feel it in how she reacts to your presence. It's not just excitement. It's a subtle sense of comfort, like she can exhale around you, like she doesn't have to perform. But at the same time, she becomes more aware of how you affect her. And that awareness makes her cautious. Not distant, just more intentional. She might hold back certain emotions, not because they aren't there, but because they matter more now. Because you matter more now. And this is where things become real. When her desire shifts from curiosity to emotional attachment. Because once that line is crossed, her behavior stops being casual. It becomes layered, complex, and deeply revealing, if you know how to read it. There's one final sign. The one that separates surface-level attraction from genuine, undeniable desire. And almost no one talks about it, because it doesn't look the way you'd expect. But once you see it, you won't just understand her. You'll understand the entire dynamic between you. And here's the part almost no one tells you. Because it doesn't look like desire at all on the surface. In fact, if you don't understand it, you might mistake it for the exact opposite. When a woman truly desires you, on a level that goes beyond attraction, beyond curiosity, beyond the surface, she begins to care about how you see her. Not in a needy, approval-seeking way, but in a deeply human, emotionally exposed way. Suddenly your opinion holds weight. Your reactions matter. And without saying it directly, she starts revealing a version of herself that she doesn't show to everyone. You'll notice it in the small shifts. The way she becomes slightly more self-aware around you. The way she pauses before saying something personal. As if deciding whether to let you see that side of her. This isn't insecurity. This is emotional risk. And people only take emotional risks when something feels real. Because at this stage, she's no longer just exploring you. She's allowing you to see her. And that's a completely different level of connection. She might open up about her past, her fears, or the things that shaped her, not all at once, but in fragments. And each piece she shares is intentional. She's not just talking, she's trusting. She's watching how you respond, how you hold that information, how you handle her vulnerability. Because now, it's not just about attraction anymore. It's about safety. And here's the truth most men aren't ready to hear. Attraction can be sparked by confidence, mystery, even looks. But desire, the kind that lasts, the kind that pulls her closer even when you're not around, that comes from how you make her feel when she's emotionally exposed. If you dismiss it, rush it, or fail to recognize it. She slowly pulls back, not because she stopped desiring you, but because she no longer feels safe expressing it. But if you meet her there, calm, grounded, emotionally present, something powerful happens. Her walls don't just lower, they disappear. She stops testing, stops holding back, and starts choosing you with clarity. And that's the final shift. Because when a woman desires you, she doesn't just show it, she eventually invests in it. The real question is, when that moment comes, will you recognize it? Or will you let it pass like you did before?